Hey guys! So this is gonna be a 20 style challenge, but since it takes a long time to draw, I'm gonna do it in two different parts, and it's really sped up, like super duper fast. Cool, thanks for the background noise when I start recording, guys. But yeah, if you are actually watching, it might kind of hurt your eyes a bit. If you're not watching, it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, I do want to talk about like the styles I chose and why and whatever. So the first one that you're seeing if you're watching is Voltron, as you can see from the reference. I'm using the reference window for the first time because people tell me to use it, but in the end in the end it doesn't matter. In the end, I ended up not using it because it's just so inconvenient for me. It just feels wrong. So but that's for later in the video. I chose Luca just because he's my main character and he's the easiest for me to draw. I usually don't need a reference unless it's for his colors and stuff, but you'll see me reference my old thing, and you can see towards on the left, like in the little navigator window, you'll see there's already a picture of Luca. It's in my own art style, so that's kind of like to compare my style to everything else. And I'm gonna have to talk a long time. Ooh. I want to say something about the style challenge. I think it's one of the best challenges for any artist to do. You don't have to do 20 styles, by the way. That is like a lot. It's a lot of work. Even if you want to do a couple, that's totally fine. But I think it's like, it's the one style that, or the one style, it's the one challenge that I learn a lot from. I learn a lot, like developing my own art style. A lot of it came from doing these kinds of challenges where I try to imitate the art style of my favorite artists and stuff like that. So you learn a lot about drawing, and you learn a lot about coloring. So when I do the style challenge, I try to go like above and beyond, because a lot of the style challenges I see, it's usually, sometimes people don't even color it in. Sometimes it's just like the line art, and I think if you only do the line art, again, this is just my opinion, you are missing out on a lot, because you can learn a lot from imitating the way somebody else colors, because coloring is really important to an art style. So not only did I draw it in that style, I would try to color it the best that I could in that style, and I would try to imitate the shading as well. It was a lot of work. I'm actually really sad because I accidentally cropped out the date and stuff. Actually, there's no date showing. Anyways, so I do the coloring, and then something that I do differently than most that I've seen is I try to imitate I try to imitate backgrounds of that series or whatever. So yeah, I did. Oh, see, I was gonna say, ooh, that was really loud. I was gonna say that I did record the process of backgrounds, but it ended up making the video way too long, and so I cut out all of the background drawing pieces. So I'm sorry if that was something that would interest you, but it was just not working out. So before I talk about Haikyuu, I didn't talk about Voltron. So Voltron is a Netflix original show. I mean, there was like a Voltron from like the 80s and stuff like that, but like this current Voltron is on Netflix. It's a great show, as most shows, fandoms or whatever. But I really like the art style. It's because isn't it like the same people, or some of the same people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think? I could be wrong, but I remember hearing about that, and that's one of my favorite shows of all time. So I think that's probably the main reason why I gave Voltron a chance. And I really like the art style. It's very simplistic, but I should probably move on to Haikyuu. But that was my Voltron one. People really liked the Voltron one. They said it was uncanny, but who knows if they're just like kissing my butt. So anyways, this is Haikyuu. I'm imitating Haikyuu. I should have done this first because it's my all-time favorite series for some reason. But I decided to save it last just because I think I wanted to imitate the Voltron style, and that's what made me do this art style challenge. So I was like super excited, so that's why I did that one first. But Haikyuu is my all-time favorite series, and so of course it would be weird if I didn't imitate that this art style. This was super hard because the anime looks kind of different from the manga, like the art style, and so when it came to drawing, I was like really conflicted on how to do certain things and how to color certain things. Like with the coloring, I couldn't like figure out if I should imitate the coloring from Furudate himself when he does like the colored pages, or if I should imitate the coloring in the anime. So I think I ended up going for the anime look. I'm not sure. There we go. We'll see right now. But I don't really like how this turned out. I mean, it looks okay now, but with the background, it just looks bad. The thing with Haikyuu, at least for me, is that even though I do really like the series, I'm not super into the art style. I think it's like good at some parts, but like there's certain things about the art style that I don't really like, such as the please don't make so much noise. Oh god. Okay, so like the necks, I know a lot of people complain about the necks and like they're super long, and like especially Oikawa, you can see little parts of him like coming on the screen sometimes. He has like a super long giraffe neck. I don't know why the necks, I mean, you know, art styles, and I don't know if like he does it on purpose or not, but like I can get it. Drawing is freaking hard, so whatever. But the anime has to kind of like imitate how Furudate draws, so they have to give them long necks, and so yeah, the neck was hard for me. I don't even know if I made it long enough. I probably didn't, just because it's hard. But yeah, the art style is not like this prettiest art style. I mean, it's not bad, it's not ugly at all, because there are some really ugly ones, but yeah, it's not my favorite. But, you know, also I want to apologize, my chair, it's like I'm trying to think of like things that, oh, when it comes to Haikyuu, my favorite thing about that art style is the facial expressions. Sorry, my chair keeps making noise because it's a new chair and it's really squeaky, but I have an album on my phone dedicated to Haikyuu manga screen caps. It currently has 240 screen caps on my phone. And they're all facial expressions. I really look up to Furudate with his facial expressions, and a lot of my facial expressions are like heavily inspired by him. Usually it's the mouth, but I do pay attention to how he draws eyes as well. So I think he's one of my biggest inspirations and one of the biggest influences in my art style. The next one is Pokemon. I have not, I know I'm gonna get like roasted for this, but I have not ever played a Pokemon game. I've played like there's this one Pokemon game, but it's not like a Pokemon game, you know. It's not what you would think of a Pokemon game. It was like this game, I forgot what it was called, but it was like Pikachu, and you're in your bedroom the whole time and you're watching TV with Pikachu, and it's like different channels and stuff. I really liked it actually. I missed that game. I forgot what it was called. I still have it. I don't know if it still works though. It's on the GameCube. But that was like the only Pokemon game I played. I played Pokemon Go, even though I wasn't into Pokemon, but like it was so huge, so I gave it a chance and I got addicted to it for like a week or two or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know much about Pokemon, except I've also watched a lot of playthroughs with Game Grumps and stuff. But I really, really, really like the art style that they use for like character art and stuff like that. What was that? I said it was bad? I like how it looks. Like right now I like it. I guess back then I hated it, but I think it's because I said it was bad because it didn't feel very recognizable, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Again, that's what most people are going for. I can see why I hated it so much, but I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, I've always really, really liked the art style of the character art and stuff like that, so I was really excited to try to imitate it. I don't know if I did a good job. I think I did okay, because I think, did my brother recognize it? My brother plays Pokemon, so if he can recognize it, then it can't be too bad. In the background I did, you can't see it anymore, but I did like the outer space background because of the sun and moon cover art, kind of, so that's what I chose for that. And yes, this one, yoo-hoo, I did Winwaker. So Winwaker is one of my favorite Zelda games. I think it was probably my second Zelda game that I played. I got the Wii U just to play this game, and I got the Zelda Wii U because it was like a special edition Wii U for this game, the HD remake. So yeah, and I chose this art style because it's super recognizable and it's super cartoony and facial expressions. That's kind of like the biggest thing for me for like ever. Facial expressions are my all-time favorite thing to draw, even though they all look the same in my drawings. I'm so sorry. I need to work on that, I know. But it's like kind of like the first thing that that draws me into an art style. If it has like crazy cartoony facial expressions like over the top or whatever, I will fall in love with it, which is like haiku and stuff, at least in the manga. I don't know about the anime, but Winwaker, if anybody has played it or have seen playthroughs of it, you know that Link is very just expresses a lot of emotions in that game compared to like his other ones where he's pretty much like kind of stoic, or more stoic, I guess, because he's always kind of portrayed as this kind of like dork kind of character. I seem kind of loud, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so that's the reason why I chose this one, because of the expressions and because it's a super recognizable art style. I chose the pouty face because the thing is, I love Luca. He is my first like real original character. Oh, you can see right here the way I shaded it. I never shade like that, but what is going on? Why did I record all of that? Why didn't I cut that out? I was like, what the? Okay, but what was I saying? I totally forgot. Oh, but the shading, I'm trying to imitate how I shade, or how they shade as well. So hopefully you can kind of see that. And then the background is super Winwaker. The coloring for that was also really hard because I couldn't decide on whether I should color like the video game or like the art. I think I ended up choosing the art because you can see there's like textures and stuff, and it's like very old style-y, kind of like rugged look. But anyways, here is the next art style. Of course, what kind of 20 art style challenge would it be without panty and stocking? So to be completely honest, I have not finished watching the show. I tried watching it one time like forever ago. I watched like 3 episodes and I couldn't get into it because it was too gross. And then, or it might have just been 1 episode, and then like years later I tried watching it again, and I think I did like it, I just never got around to finishing it, and that was years ago. I can't even remember what year that was. It was probably 2013 maybe, so it was a while ago. So I still have not finished it, but I adore the art style. It's super cartoony, super like Western inspired anime. It's like I've seen clips of it recently. It's very gross. It's very like vulgar, but I am totally into that humor anyway, so it's no big deal for me. I do remember posting this, a finished picture on Instagram and Twitter, and people were like, some people were kind of upset because they were like, they said they're gonna, what is it? Like, they hated it because they hate panty and stocking. They're like, how dare you? I thought I had respect for you. I lost all my respect for you because of this, and like, time to die or whatever, like, or trying to get off the internet because you imitated. And I was like, what the? It's just an art style challenge, and also like, who cares? Even if I did watch it, like, why would you care if I did? You know, it's not, I'm not forcing you to watch it. But anyways, you know, internet comments and stuff, so people were being really ugh. Anyways, so yeah, I've never finished watching it. I probably should, just because it's like the style and the colors. I think that's one of the biggest things I love about that series. The colors are so super bright, so saturated. Since it's like a vulgar show, very sexual, very gross and whatever, I decided to use this facial expression. Oh, I think I just reminded myself like what I was talking about. So I chose Luca because he's my first character and he's the easiest, but I kind of regret choosing him because even though I adore him, when it comes to facial expressions and emotions and stuff, he's super boring. He's like, I'm pretty sure I described him once as emotionally constipated. He's just like super edgelord, kind of like, I don't care. So he was definitely the wrong character to choose for this, because as you'll see at the end of the video, when I do show all like the first 10 of these, it's pretty much different forms of a bored or peeved off look. So super boring. I really should, what was that? I really should have chosen, oh, that's because I moved to Clip Studio Paint, which I'll talk about soon. But if I were to do this over, I would have chosen like maybe Mace, because he's also like a huge favorite. I might like him more than Luca now. I don't know. I don't want to say that because Luca's my original baby, but like Mace is a huge favorite character of mine, and I don't draw him enough, and he's super nerdy and stuff, so he would have been good for facial expressions, and I could have done so many different expressions, but I didn't, so bummer. So if any of you guys feel like doing this challenge, try to choose a character that like shows emotions. Okay, so this is Gravity Falls, which is one of my all-time favorite cartoons. It was so great. It's one of those shows that you can watch with anybody of any age, and it's great, and like the humor is so good, and the characters are so good. I can't even choose like a favorite character. It's like between Dipper and Mabel and Grunkle Stan, and Granda's pretty good too. Bill Cipher, that's his name, right? I haven't watched it in a while. But there are just so many really good characters, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some, but like, yeah. So I used, so I chose this art style because, again, a favorite show, a recognizable art style, and you can hear my skin, that's so gross. And I wanted to imitate the backgrounds because the backgrounds are also like super recognizable as well, but you won't see that until never, I guess. I'm already finished with it. Anyways, but as I mentioned earlier, you can probably tell, I changed from Fire Alpaca to Clip Studio Paint for many reasons, and in my latest video, I did change to it, but I didn't like address it, so people were like not super happy that I changed, because, you know, people don't like change, and also they think, I don't know, it's just, I'm probably not gonna make any more Fire Alpaca tutorials just because I feel like I've covered almost everything. If you think I haven't covered it, look through my old videos because I probably have covered it. But I was getting really bored with it, and I just wanted more options, and I just felt really limited by it. So when Clip Studio Paint, it went on sale during the summer. It was like 50% off. So I bought it. It was like $50, but it went down to $25. Now it's like $25 for this thing that a lot of people use? Sure. So I did. And it's really hard to get used to, and it's been like a couple of months or whatever, and I'm still not super used to it, but I'm trying my best, and there are definitely things I like better, but there are a lot of things, just because I've used Fire Alpaca since 2013, it's like so much easier to use Fire Alpaca, but I'm trying my best not to go back to it and to just move on, you know? So don't think that like I hate Fire Alpaca or like that I let you guys down or whatever. It's just that I need to change things sometimes, and yeah. So this art style is the gorillas. I ended up hating how it turned out, but now I kind of like it. Like, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely not my least favorite. My least favorite is the one that's coming up next. But gorillas, super recognizable art style. I think it was kind of hard choosing what pictures to use as a reference because the style is pretty much the same in every like official art, but it's different. Like, if you saw the reference that I was using, I think I ended up, by this time, I was moving my references into my phone so that I wasn't switching back and forth on the screen as often as before. I do a couple of times, but like not as often. What was I saying? But yeah, the official art kind of moves like different. I don't know, it's just like weird. So it was kind of hard for me to choose what kind of reference to use for that, but in the end I think it turned out okay. A lot of people liked it, so that's good, but it wasn't my favorite, but it's not my least favorite. This one, however, this one is my all-time least favorite. I think when I do the line art it turns out okay, but then I colored it in, and it just doesn't look that good. So as you can probably tell after I did the eyes, this is supposed to be Splatoon. And when I draw it, like, this was before I drew the birthday art, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think I showed you guys that yet. It hasn't come out on YouTube. But if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, just go on my Twitter page right now. It's the pinned tweet. It's on the very top. I drew I drew art of my friend for his birthday as him as an inkling. That, I really liked how that turned out. This, however, is complete garbage. I chose this art style because, again, it is super duper recognizable, and inklings are like super fun looking to draw, so I wanted to attempt it, but I just ended up really hating it. Right now, again, it doesn't look too bad, but when I color it, I just mess it up completely. I do end up going back like a month later to kind of fix a few things, but in the end, it's just not that great. But anyways, yeah, I've never played a Splatoon myself, just because, not because I have anything against it, but I've heard a lot of good things. And the thing is, god, can you stop with the pipes? The thing is, I'm already obsessed with Legend of Zelda, so I didn't really want to become obsessed with anything else, and Splatoon definitely looks like one of those games that I can become obsessed with. It's the same reason why I don't play Pokemon games, because I just don't have the time to become obsessed with something else. So, I know that's like not a good reason, and I will play it eventually, I swear, but for now I'm just gonna keep away from it. But yeah, you can see the references that I use right there, and so yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about when coloring. A good reason why you should try to imitate the way other art styles color is because not only do you imitate how they color, but you imitate how they choose colors. In certain art styles, like their colors are more like pink, or they're more yellow or whatever. So you kind of have to take that into account. So I usually do use the eyedropper tool to pick the color, like his actual color. And I usually like do go in with the original colors, and then I try to change it up like one by one and try to make it fit the art style. With Splatoon, it's a little harder because it's 3D art, and I am not at all a 3D artist. I am very 2D. I have never tried 3D art. I have to eventually, I know, but for now it's just not gonna happen. So I think that's why this picture ended up being really bad, was because I did with the shading and stuff, and with the line art eventually, I tried to imitate like a 3D kind of look by making it look like lineless art, but I just didn't execute it correctly, and so it ends up looking really bad. Like, oh, the hair, oh, it looks so bad. Oh, you can hear my chair. But I think I cut out a lot of it. You'll see, you can, if you look through my Twitter and stuff, you'll see like the original one, or you can see kind of in the corner. But yeah, so here I'm gonna talk about this one really quickly. Chair, stop. So there's this new show called OKKO Let's Be Heroes, and I have not watched it yet, and I am so sorry because I've been looking forward to this show, but due to me being at work all the time, I missed it and I forgot to record it. So I'm gonna have to look for ways to watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna do it like illegally because I do want to support the show, but I need to find it playing. I need to catch it playing on TV, and I don't watch TV, so it's gonna be a hard problem. But from the moment I saw videos online and pictures, I fell head over heels in love with this art style. I cannot say how much I love this art style. It's great. It's beautiful. It's so simplistic and yet so just, oh my god. I was having so much fun imitating this art style. Like I said, look, it says I love this on the side. I was having so much fun. I had to tell you guys how much fun I was having, and you can see his color of skin. I still make him dark as he is, but since the art style, like if you see the reference that I use or whatever, it's like the colors are different. Like there's a lot of yellows. Look, there we go, it's finished. I have to stop talking right now. Okay, bye. But anyways, I'm gonna have to talk throughout my ending, I think. But I had a lot of fun imitating these art styles, and sorry if this was really boring commentary. I wanted to actually focus on the art styles and why I chose them and stuff like that. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Have a good week. Be good outlets for me, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Love you. Bye.